Hello, today we are talking about our latest update. Our first few changes are going to be under the driver's profile. So we will open up a driver here. The first one that you are going to see is this new checkbox that's called freeze payable. If you have this selected, you will not be able to generate any settlements for the driver. Second, we have renamed target cost to gross pay. So hopefully this decreases any confusion, as you can see here. And the last change under the driver's profile is we have added a social security number field where you can input this. Also, under the driver's profile with deductions, we have added a new feature where if you are adding to the escrow, you can now set an escrow limit for any reoccurring deductions with this subtype. So now you can limit how much will be taken out regarding those transactions. Next, we have some changes regarding our locations. So we will pull up our locations. The first one that we are going to be able to see is now we have added an additional location type. So as you can see, this checkbox here called drop and hook. So you can filter your locations by this type where you're typically dropping and hooking any trailers. The next change that we have regarding this locations window is you can now actually maximize it as well. So as you can see, now this window has the ability to take up the entire screen. A few of these next changes will be under our preferences section. Here under general, if we scroll down, we have these two new checkboxes. One is called Auto-populate invoice number. This will in essence generate the same invoice number that would match your now order ID. So those two numbers would be the same and generated automatically if you have this box checked. The next one we have is time and location continuity, which in essence, a user won't be able to pick up any trailers from a specific location unless that trailer location matches the truck location. So it's going to make sure that the continuity and the sequence of the actual movements of the trailers and the trucks have to match up in order to get any following steps going. One more change here under preferences will be regarding our message template. We have a new field now called temperature range, which you will be able to input into the message template and send that information to the drivers that would be pulled from the temperature section on the order. Another small change that we have added is going to be under our movements history report. Click on calculate. We will now see this new column that is called distance that will calculate the miles for each of these movements here that were done and give you the total and the average of them as well. A few more changes here under order planning. If we open up a specific order, we will now also here be able to see that there is no longer target cost, but gross pay in this section as well. Under the temperature range, we now have the ability of adding zeros into this field. So if you have any limitations that then require a 0 to be visible, you can do that as well. And then if we dispatch an order and we want to drop a trailer, adding a new trailer will no longer be required. So you will have the ability of just dropping the trailer itself and then driving off empty on your next movement. Last few changes here. First one would be under settlements. We have now added these additional filters that you can sort by all of your company drivers and your owner operators. So you can click those and that will then select and show you all of those drivers from that specific driver type. And now the last change that we have for this update will be regarding our express codes. So if you have integration with EFS via SOAP on the back end, you will now also be able to actually generate this EFS code directly from the TMS. So if you select your driver, put in your amount, and you actually click apply, then the TMS will send this information on the back end, and it will then generate this reference number and code for you directly from the TMS instead of going into your portal. Again, this will only be available via the SOAP integration with EFS for the time being. That concludes our update. Let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.